Hey guys, Ray from Love You RV back at you with another installment of my 2011-2012 Throwback video series. Getting pretty close to 3/4 of the way around North America now. This one's going to be concentrated down in the Big Bend National Park area. We left New Orleans and went over to Galveston and spent a little time on the beach there. Weather was kind of iffy. It wasn't a great time. Actually, I'd like to go back someday. And then we headed across Texas. Now, Texas is a huge state, so it took us a few hops to get across it. We stayed at a couple thousand trails parks. One was called Colorado River Campground near Columbus, Texas. And the other one was just outside of San Antonio, Thousand Trails Medina Lake. They both weren't that impressive to me, but they were cheap because we had bought the Thousand Trails Pass when we were over in Florida to save money. Also, Texas at that time was in the middle of a huge drought, so Medina Lake was more of a big mud pit at the bottom of a big hole. So everything was kind of super dry. The only interesting thing there was all the deer that were around there. Anyway, we did a big long drive and ended up at a little town called Fort Stockton. Just stayed at a really cheap RV park in there. We were finally now entering the desert. This would be our first time into the desert of the Southwest, so it was really interesting to us. So we stocked up and we headed down to Big Bend National Park. That was on Anne's landscape photography bucket list. So went down there and we spent a couple weeks down there. Actually, it was like a late February, early March. Perfect time to go there. Good weather and everything. We spent some time at in the park campground, the Rio Grande Village here. They have a really nice campground down there, but it is a huge park, so we decided we'd move over to the little kind of quirky town called Terlingua. It has a little ghost town in there, and not many people live there, but there's a few RV parks. We stayed at this BJ's RV park. That way we could kind of explore the other side of Big Bend National Park, and we could also get down into Big Bend Ranch State Park along the Rio Grande River here. So that was really pretty. And in fact, in a few years later, we did a return visit, and I'll link to those videos because they're going to be with my much better camera. My video camera was much better when we returned. So this is kind of, like I say, an old point and shoot camera, throwback videos, so don't expect much. You're going to get some wind noise and stuff like that. And I have quite a few photos from this area. It is so picturesque. If you love nature, you love getting away from it all, this is a place for you. If you like cities or being near a bunch of like interesting things to do in cities, this is not the place for you. It's 150, 200 miles away from anywhere, really remote. Anyway, let's get it. There's the Rio Grande down there, off on a little sunset shoot with Anne.
Hi.
She's come across this little thing. The Mexicans come across the border and they leave their little trinkets. You're supposed to buy their little trinkets there. There's a couple scorpions and cactus looking things, and you put it in a little jar and then they come back and get it. You see the Mexican town over there across the river.
Look, Mexico.
Mexico. Off in the distance there's some, what are those mountains called?
Chisos?
Chisos?
Chisos.
Chisos. Pretty cool. It's hot. About 82 degrees at 6 o'clock. Okay, we've come up to look at the balanced rock. We're up Grapevine Trail, up probably around 4,000 feet. Sun's setting. Beautiful desert landscape. Bugs. Anne's getting ready to take one of her fabulous shots. Come behind her and see. Oh, it's gonna be a goodie. Well, the sun's just hitting the top of that one. Here we are, up high in the Chiso Mountains. Hiked up here, well, we drove for a long way. I guess we're about 5,000, 6,000 feet. We have a panoramic view. Sun setting over there. Nice. A few more trees up here. Different climate than down on the desert floor. Oh my God! I can't believe it! It looks like it's Anne McKinnell, famous landscape photographer. Who would have thought that she would be here? Well, of course she would be here.
I brought my phone so that I could get rid of the prickly pear plants in the foreground.
Oh yeah. There she is, taking pictures of little cactuses on the edge.
And doing the whole vista.
Whole vista. Are you using any filters?
Not yet, but I'm going to.
Oh, what kind of lens are you using there?
Well, I'm using my wide angle, which means I can't use my filter holder because the angle's so wide. I'll get the edges of the filter holder in the frame, so I kind of have to hang on to it.
Oh. Sure, that's going to be a fantastic photo.
I hope so. I wish it could be one of those perfect agavs, but I can't find one.
Can't find one. They were all over down below.
It's pretty hazy out there, but still it's a gorgeous view.
Just view.
Oh, it's pretty hazy back there.
Here we are in the middle of Big Bend National Park. Right in the middle of the desert. Give you a panorama shot. These are the Chiso Mountains, I believe. We just drove up to the very top and had a look. Unfortunately, there was too many of these tiny little stupid flies. If you'd stop, about 100 of them would be swarming around you and flying in your mouth and stuff, driving us crazy. Oh, here comes a car. Better get in, the flies are getting me again. The flies get you?
I got a few pictures before the flies just about ate the first layer of skin off me.
Stupid things.
Holy crap.
We're down at the hot springs at the Rio Grande. Down the river, there's some people that canoed down the river, getting their boats out. Right across there is Mexico. There's some Mexican people in the bush over there. Probably waiting to see if we buy their trinkets. And those are the hot springs. Sit in the hot springs right beside the river. Chill out. I'll go over and show you the trinkets. Oh, there's Anne McKinnell, famous photographer. Hi, Anne McKinnell. There's the trinkets. People in there. Looks like a couple of Japanese people. They're having a good time in there. Pretty cool. Nice and cool today. About 65 or 70 clear blue skies. Nice out of the impressive heat we were having. Yeah, nice. Here we are at the Rio Grande Village overlook. Off in the distance where those green trees are, that's where we're camped. You can see some RVs down there. And then this is the Rio Grande River. It winds down past our campsite right there, and then past a little Mexican village, and then it goes over and it goes through a canyon over there between those big mountains over there. And then this is the canyon that leads down towards where Anne was having such fun in the hot springs a little while ago. There's Anne. Hi, Anne. Yeah, pretty cool. There's Mexico over there. Not bad weather today. I guess we're sitting probably around 75 to 80 degrees. Not 90 or stifling. Beautiful. Here we are. We just drove down 14 miles of dirt road. Came across these really funky looking cactuses. Check them out. Never seen plants like this before. We're headed over to, I think it's Santa Elena Canyon. You can see it over there, right over there. That's where the Rio Grande comes through. We're on the west side of the park now. And these plants are bizarre. I just stopped to check them out. It's weird, it's so quiet in the desert. Only hearing a little bit of wind. Hey, Anne the Kennel. How you doing?
What are you doing out here in these hills?
Are you hot enough?
I could use some cool water.
Cool water. Here we are in Big Bend Ranch State Park again. These old buildings were used as a movie set back in, I think in about the 60s. It's been used for 6 movies. It's an old church looking building. Really nice rock formations around here. And down here we're back at the Rio Grande River. There's the mountains on the Mexican side. Shaping up to be a really nice sunset tonight on the river. There we go. Nice river valley. Anne's afraid I'm going to cross into Mexico. But I just went to the very tip of the United States. I didn't quite go across into Mexico. So I'm okay. There's Anne down playing in the mud. Okay, we're at the Chihuahua races in Terlingua Ghost Town. This is the final heat of all the Chihuahuas. They're going to stick them in that little box, and then they're all going to race all the way down to the other end. This is pretty exciting, folks.
Everybody in town turned out. This is everybody.
At the other end, they all call everybody.
Here, go around.
The beagles would just come out and stop and sniff right away. I'd like to be an all beagle race. That would be okay. It'd probably take them 10 minutes to go to the end. If it was all beagles, they just get out and sniff around.
Like turtle race.
Certainly not. They have your hair. Really like And I do admire
This is getting exciting now. Look at all the chihuahuas. They're all like, they're so mellow.
Come on, tiny short.
Loading in the box.
Not so much.
First 2 of 3.
Portland, Oregon, a pup town.
You can't make this up, folks. This is really going down. Trying to find out who's got the eye of the Chihuahua. Beers. They're like Great Danes, but they're not. Hey. Oh, we got one jumped out. Run away. He's winning. He's winning. Back that down.
Poppy Rodriguez. I'm going with Poppy Rodriguez.
Oh, here comes
I guess he has cold feet. He's coming. We got a rescuer right here. Good job, guys. Way to go. Way to be. Way to be. Put that dog in that box. Okay, let him hear you. Come on, cheer him on. He's for the fun. Bragging rights for you.